No, I'm not mocking you. It's Mocking With You, the podcast that settles the debates once and for all with your host, Lil B, and the hater.
Hello and welcome to the Mocking With You podcast. We have a special episode this week with our top 10 tight ends for the 2025 NFL draft with the combine actively going on right now. So it's going to be a great week. People are moving and shuffling around the boards with the defenders the last two nights. Some people having great combines, other ones having okay combines. I would say right now with the combine with all the players, there's been nobody who's really hurt themselves on the defensive side. I mean, I know we talked a lot of hate about Hunter War being a linebacker over a safety. The dude dropped like 15 pounds.
What?
Yeah, he dropped like 15 pounds around a 4.45 or a 4.51, something very low. He's definitely trying to make himself that safety prospect.
Then wow.
Yeah, he never played the safety position at deep, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does. But
nothing that had a guy where he just moves around.
Yeah. But so it's been crazy. There's been some amazing prospects. Some of the bigger ones have not done anything. But we are supposed to have a special guest. Jolene, our producer, is supposed to be joining us. She potentially could be running behind and having busyness. She might not be able to join. So if she does, fantastic. If not, we do have her list. We will talk about her players if they are not the same as ours. But if she joins halfway through, we will let her catch up on her stuff. But saying all that, let's go ahead and get into this, Chris. Let's talk about our top 10 tight ends for this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, that was one guy. I'm glad to see.
We have her.
Hey, there she is.
Right on time.
Perfect timing. Yep. Yeah. So we literally just hit on him. We just went down, so nothing's been missed. So perfect timing. But all right, hater, what do you got with number 10 here?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not prepared. Okay. His speed. So I don't know if it was just me, but his speed was kind of defective on tape. I think I don't even know. An old school tight end.
He was a high school quarterback, correct? He just
have that. For the quarterback in my notes, yes.
Yeah.
Amazing ball skill, contested catch winner. He's 6'4", 265. Correct me if I'm wrong about that.
No, that's what I have as well. 23 years old.
Yeah, he'll be 24 by the time the season comes along, though. That's kind of old for me.
Yeah, well, he's a 3. This is his third team. He played for Texas Tech, but he committed to Oklahoma, stayed at Oklahoma for a year, then went to Arizona State, played for Arizona State for a year, and then committed, left, transferred, and went to Texas Tech for the last couple. So he doesn't have the greatest statistics. In 2024, he had 30 receptions, 320 yards, and 5 touchdowns. 23, he had 30 receptions, 362, no touchdowns, and 22, 38 receptions and 422 and 5. So he's very consistent at that 30 range mark. But I still think he's very raw at that position because he's still only 5 years into that position.
Yeah. So, and I just love wasn't in blend to the table. He kind of had that kind of role where you could see him at the Wildcat, you could see him line up at running back, you can see him pretty much anywhere.
He ran the Wildcat multiple times and has multiple touchdowns from the Wildcat position. And he also has a throwing touchdown in his time at Texas Tech.
Yeah, it reminded me of Clay Burton.
Yeah, I really like him. So I have Mitchell Evans, the Notre
Dame.
Ooh,
you're lower on than the man.
Yeah, I just liked all these other guys. I kept pushing, moving around this tight end class a lot, and it was very, very hard for me. But Mitchell Evans, Notre Dame, 21 years old, 6'5", 260. He had 43 receptions, 421 and 3 this year. Last year, he had 29, 422 and 1 for his stats. Very good. He's slow. Well, he's like in slow motion, like when he's running routes. Like he looks like he's running molasses or something. It's very like something to watch. I like him. He can box out because he's so big. He can box out a linebacker safety and get to those critical third down catches. He does make some very good contested catches. He does high point the ball. He's very good in the open over the middle of the field. Strong catcher. Blocking, not much. You'll notice very much about this tight end class. There's not a lot of blockers. There's like really only 1-2 very good blocking tight ends, and I don't have either one of them in my top 10. So spoiler alert there. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Mitchell Evans. We got Vader in the way of the.
Sorry about that.
All right, so my number 10 is
Wow. This is exciting.
he fell because of some injuries that he's had.
I don't care about
He
anything.
kind of scares me on that. Oronde Gadsden out of Syracuse.
The second.
The second, yes. Yeah, if you ever do a search for the first, you'll find someone completely different.
Yeah, I did.
This kid is 21 years old, 6'4" ish, 6'4", 6'5". Not sure what his final.
Yeah, I know. I said 6'5", 236, but I think he was at the Senior Bowl or somewhere, and it came in at 6'4" or something like that.
And actually, this morning for Combine, he was measured 6'4" and 5/8".
Okay.
So about 6'4.5" and 243. He has 2 years worth of starting experience. He's a former wide receiver. Great routes. He can come out of the slot. He can come out of the wide. Great hands. But yeah, 2023, he had a Liz Frank injury. And so in reality, he's only had like one breakout season.
2022, he had 61, 9, 69, and 6.
Yeah, I was going to say 2022 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
The problem.
But he had a better quarterback.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah, Kyle McCord. The problem with the Liz Frank injury, for most people who don't know, a Liz Frank injury, you're about 50% chance of needing another surgery on that Liz Frank injury. So, he played through it in 24, but it still doesn't mean, that's a good sign. But
he played at a high level, too.
Yeah, so hopefully he doesn't need that injury, but that's always something you got to be afraid of with the Liz Frank, that usually half of the time you need another surgery on it. Mm-hmm. Luckily, he played a whole season without needing it, so that is a good sign, but it's always something to be wary of as well.
Yep, exactly. So that's why he's my number 10. And you're probably going to laugh at who my number 9 is. Mr. Hey! I don't have any blocking tight ends.
You know what? What I was telling this dude before the show? Little dude. I was telling him, I have to find a way to get this guy on my list, but I can't move anyone.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm completely with Lil B on this, because this was a really hard list to put together. Yeah. My last.
You have to have a blocker, right? But then I was like, I need all both of them.
Yeah, I think my 4 through 10, I've been playing around with the entire.
I think that's fine with this class. I could see Jackson Hawes going in the third round because of his.
Yeah.
He really could.
So a lot of these teams are blocking tight ends, which is kind of funny. I think it was like 5 years ago we thought they were dead.
Yeah. So anyway, I have him probably as the best blocking tight end of this group.
Hands down, the best blocking.
He can be tight end, fullback. he's a true 3-down tight end. In my opinion, you can watch his tape. He's going up against edge. He's going against safety.
I just don't. He's not in the effective passing game much.
Not huge, but when he's used there, he has decent hands. So, he can get you that first down. He's not your deep threat, but he can still help move the stick.
Who's that guy from the Bengals that drafted in the third round?
New sample.
New sample, yeah.
He was second round, not third round.
Oh wow, that's in the worst. But
But no, so Jackson Halls is my tight end 11. He was going to be a guy I wanted to mention, so I'm glad to see you had him up here.
All right.
Yeah, well, it's not like
I got him on the list.
I didn't even watch him. And then my brother says, you probably need to watch Jackson Halls. So I was like, okay. So he was the last guy after I made my list. My brother's like, you probably need to go back and watch him. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I threw him on the tape and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, right.
I jumped up, like, I can't move anybody out. I want to talk about the guys. I could have probably argued at 10.
No, you're fine. Just some specs on him. He's 23, so a little bit older.
Okay, I couldn't find his date. I couldn't find his age.
He's also 6'4.5", literally 6'4", 4'8", and boasting 253.
Okay.
So, they're at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, he was. I agree with you. I think he does offer upside in the passing. He could be he actually was very well blocked every position, as well as very movability. He doesn't probably have the speed, but I could see him in a Kyle Shanahan as a Kyle Juszczyk.
Yep. So those are my 10 and 9.
I like it.
All right, let's do the next. Ooh.
So I'm very
slightly higher
on Jalen Culver's here. There's not much we haven't said, but I wrote down he's Mr. Can Do Everything because his time at Texas Tech, he ran the Wildcat, scored multiple touchdowns as a Wildcat running back for a touchdown. He threw a touchdown against Baylor, which was very nice. Arizona rushing touchdown. At his time at Arizona State, he had a 3-touchdown game against Colorado. Most of his touchdowns were very nice at that time. His double catch, I don't know if you saw against West Virginia. He had a double catch where he tipped the ball up because it was about to get close to the defender. Then he reaches out and catches it. His athleticism is through the roof, and it shows all over the tape. And I think it's going to show all over in the NFL and tomorrow during the combine, his athleticism. And I think I know he's a little older at 23, will be 24 during the combine or at the NFL season. But I honestly think 4th, 5th, 6th round for Jalen Culver's, you're getting a stud who's going to be able to give you a lot of upside.
Yeah, for real. So I'm not seeing much higher on Mitchell Evans.
Every time, Chris.
We're just flip-flopped. So the thing about Mitchell Evans is he still made some big hits in him, but the problem is he's slow. He kind of reminded me of Kyle Rudolph, but I think Kyle Rudolph is just a bit faster.
Oh, Kyle was way faster. I mean, he had multiple big touchdowns during his time at Notre Dame.
But the way he was reliable, he's just as reliable as Rudolph was. So I really don't know what you're going to get with this guy.
He's going to be that guy that's going to be in the league for 10 years. He'll give you 30, 300, and at 1. And he'll just survive in the league for 10 years.
He's from Notre Dame, so I'm expecting him to be able to block.
Yeah, you thought that. You're like, oh, Notre Dame tight end, he's going to block. And you watch him, you're like, he doesn't block.
Yeah, I was like, yes, the blocker. Oh, but then my notes is not. All right, what? Oh, how can I make it go again? Oh, never mind. I'm still not used to this. Terrence Ferguson. 6'5". Tell me if my notes are right. 65 to 55. This is what I got.
Dude, yeah. 22 years old.
22 years old.
Yeah.
Again, kind of old, but not that old.
Young.
Very lengthy guy, attacks tight end. He normally comes off the line. Has some quickness in the open field. Seems like he only did drag routes and wheel routes, though. Would like to see more routes from him. Like, he's doing, like, he's catching all the balls, but he's only doing the drag route and a wheel route. Woo!
I highly disagree with you, sir. I thought he had a very good route tree.
That's what I saw.
All I can tell you,
Pony.
I will tell you, it will show later when I talk about him that is way further than where you have him right now.
Not that much of a fan. Sorry.
I mean, you guys are just like, we're all like, you guys, I'm right here in the middle and you're all agreeing with me. So, but Gadsden the second, there's not much more to say about him. I do like him a lot. He does offer no blocking upside. I don't know if we talked about that. He runs like a wide receiver. He's Kyle Pitts this year. He's not Kyle Pitts coming out of prospect, but how Kyle Pitts never offered you anything. He was just going to be an outside tight end. There you go, Gadsden. That's the fair comp. And honestly, I think you're going to get the same productivity out of Gadsden that you did Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts went fourth roll. You're going to get Gadsden in the second, third, fourth. I mean, I think Gadsden's very polished. I like him a lot. He is undersized in weight, which I don't love. He is 6'5", 230. That is tiny.
Is that what the combine said?
Yeah, he was. I forget what I had to look at.
I had that written in my notes.
But he does. His problem is he gets taken down by the first defender. He's not very shifty. He does, like, a defender touches him, he's going over. So, like, those are my different notes we didn't mention earlier. But I do like Gadsden, obviously. He pops off at the screen at you, too.
He does pop off. I'm not there yet, so I can't tell you. Go ahead, Dwayne.
You're muted, Jolene. Can't hear you. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Can you
Okay.
There we go. I heard noise coming through.
I heard something.
Yep, there it is.
Well, you hear?
I can hear her. She's fine.
I don't hear her.
Great. Yeah. I agree. I'm very low on him, actually. I wasn't like, you want to talk about a limited route tree. This guy was cut back route, turn route, just that's what he did. It was just like, oh my God, he doesn't do it. And then he has no athletic ability. He's just like a stiff movement.
I have him at number 11.
I have him at 15 or 14. I'm very low on him. I mean, if he goes higher, I get why.
I like his length. I like him going, so I don't know what you said.
His
get off the ball is super slow.
I do too. Yeah, Brennan Stoll, you want to talk about it really? 25, 285, 4 in 2022. And that's then 23, 50, 498, and 5. And then last year, 49, 5, 30, and 7. So statistically, you did get better every year, which is what you want to see. I call him the short route king because that's all he does. Yeah. No. No.
And that's it. And bye hater.
Yeah. No kidding whatsoever. Yeah. What are you doing, dude? Everything's working. Why are you messing with stuff?
I didn't hear nothing. I lost you.
That's not on us. That's on you.
I lost the audio. I had to replay.
You didn't have to reset in the middle of the episode without saying anything.
Sorry, I had to.
You say something. Everybody could hear you besides us. You couldn't hear us, but we could hear you, so you should have said something.
I did.
No, you didn't. You just kicked us out.
The joys of
Not
technology.
that bad. I thought it's supposed to stay there.
So yeah, that's
I agree with everything you were saying. I know who my tight end 7 is. It's Elijah Arroyo. So I can go ahead and just agree with almost everything you just said about Elijah. I'm very low on him as well. He breakout season, as you said, after 3 seasons with 11 total catches in his other 3 seasons for only 163 yards. Not like, he came very explosive this year. So why? Only one, if he's this athletic freak, why did it take him this long to do something? And it's not like his stats were insane. They were 35, 590, and 7.
Yep.
He's a receiving threat, creates openings, looks heavy at the line of scrimmage in his routes. He offers one route straight. I'm going to run straight. You're going to throw me the ball, and I'm going to run straight. That's Elijah Arroyo.
Yep. Find me over the middle because no one's covering me.
Yeah. Soft hands.
Burning them all.
He does make catching look easy. He has very nice hands. He does make it look easy. He did have a passing touchdown as well this last year to Cam Ward.
Oh, okay.
Cool little play.
Yeah. I mean, Chris never hit center, but yeah, that's who my number 7 is. So, but no blocking side either. He's Gatson, another tall guy who offers, no blocking, receiving threat outside. He did line up as the tackle, but he never did anything. He was just more of a straight go route or seam route.
Yep, exactly.
So I get it, but people who have him as like tight end 2, tight end 3, I think is a little.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean that's what the NFL has. The NFL has him in the top 50. Oh fuck, we all agree there.
Oh, that's not what I had in my notes, but oh well.
I'll be right back. I gotta let the dogs out. My wife's telling me they have
And
to.
so I got athletic, speed hills. He's super speedy, but like he only has one route, and it's a sprint route. So just go long and cut it down the field. I think he'll catch it, but I
Yeah.
highly doubt that's going to work in the NFL.
Yeah, you can't imagine, right? You have to have a
And
couple more things in your
his
back
route
pocket.
running is like the other routes that I saw him run. He just like just kind of just sloppily ran the route, like he's doing it route, but like as he's going through the big route, he's kind of like he's like he's not a good route runner at all.
Right.
And not many contested catches, obviously. He's just running wide open in the field.
He was always open. That's the other thing that scares me. He was
Sorry, look, how many catches can you have in the NFL because he hasn't had that kind of adversity.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I'm with Jolene. I can't just like 1 year productivity. And it's not that great of productivity. It was 35 catches. 35 catches. I mean, yeah, he had a great yak because it was 590 yards. But like, you're not going to get that in the NFL. And
that was good. Yeah.
It's 1 year with okay stats. And if he was this athletic monster that he looked like, why did it take 4 years? I see it. I understand why people are fascinated with it because of the upside. 4th round. I like him in the 4th. I feel late 3rd, mid 3rd. Okay, I understand. I'm not day 2, like round 2. I'm not pulling the trigger round 2.
Yeah, I see it. I'm a little higher on this. Well, on my list is different, but I'm not percent knowing the opposite with the list on this one. But it's Orlando Jackson, which I have him at 7 on my list, but whatever. I watched it. I must have messed it up when I sent it to you. This guy gets up and gets the ball. Like, you talk about a guy who actually catches the ball in contested catches. Jackson will get the ball in contested catches. I kind of want to say that he's going to be like Mike Williams at the tight end position.
Not that athletic and diving and great. Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
He's going to get touchdowns. He's going to get first downs. But I don't know. He's not going to get he's not going to have 11 and 100 and 2. He's not going to blow the stat line up.
No.
All right, what do we got?
I'm high on Terrence Ferguson here.
Whoa, my lord!
Woo!
I am very high and bullish on Terrence Ferguson. Everything that he's only one spot higher. I get it, but he's everything plus what people want Elijah Arroyo to be. He does the same things, but he does it more, and he does more routes. He does it better. He's only 2 years of productivity, but I like that more. So this year he was 43, 591, and 3. That was last year. His 3 years, he was 91 receptions total, 946 yards, and 13 touchdowns. So, I mean, he had 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns, and over 130 receptions in his college career. He's 6'5", 256, 22 years old. He plays off the line, good in the screen game. He has stiff movements. I'm not going to sit here, but he's an open field nightmare. He makes defenders miss. Unlike Arroyo, who he contested catches and he made people miss. Arroyo didn't have to worry about it because somehow the guy was magically open in the middle of the field with no defender around him for 50 yards.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, I did say he had bigger route tree than most. Not saying he has every route, but I thought he had better routes than most of these other guys. And he does it a little bit different. Michigan State game, he had a block rollout screen for a big play where he was like he fake blocked and then he did a rollout.
That was good. That was really good.
He took the ball for like 60-something yards. It was a very impressive play. Good speed in open field, long strides. Security blanket offer. He was a very security blanket for his quarterbacks, and he does offer a deep threat, which is also nice.
Are you saying that Justin Herbert like this guy?
I'm saying Justin Herbert would like an Oregon tight end, yes.
Yeah, no. No.
Herbert's not the only one looking for an Oregon tight end.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams out there for a tight end. Oh, hey!
My team, the Broncos, you got Bo Nix, who is also a Duck. And this kid, he's willing to block. He's going to go out and make his catches. He actually has decent bursts coming off that line.
He does.
He can split a couple guys and find himself wide open. Like, he puts in the work to get open. Unlike, some other guys that we've already talked about. But yeah, love his yards after catch. He can break some tackles. He can really push, go and find the sticks. So yeah, I really love him. Love watching him play against Washington.
He did have good games against Washington.
All of his Washington games, 23, 24, he just goes off. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, he had a special hatred in his heart.
Let's have something against them.
So yeah, love that dude. Oh yeah, and he's also from Colorado. So even more love for me.
So you're saying there's a chance Denver.
Colorado, Oregon quarterback, just it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you can start drawing some lines before the draft. He and another guy in here. So let's move on. This is where I put Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green. I'm sticking him here because he's 6'3" and 241. I get that he has had some crazy effective seasons out in Bowling Green. He's got some great routes. He's a former wide receiver. He enjoys trying to block. But gosh, he's small. But he runs like he's big. Like he's very tight. I can't even describe how he runs. He's just very blocky when he runs. But I mean, he's had some great seasons down there. I'm definitely curious what he's going to look like with more elite competition. I know that he did go against several teams. He went against Penn State. He went against a couple other guys. But at the same time, there were no wide receivers on his team. So he just took over everything.
And you would know Penn State and Texas A&M would have to defend that, and they couldn't. And It's not like those are really good defenses that have a lot of prospects in that, and he destroyed them. I get everything you're saying. I understand everybody's hesitation.
Yeah, me too.
So
I get it.
I guess for me, I'm just a little hesitant on him right now, just size-wise, and he just doesn't move as well as I would have expected a 6'3".
I said he has smooth movements. Like so,
really?
I don't know what no one's talking about.
Yeah, I thought he had.
Well, the games I've watched.
I'll have to go rewatch because maybe I'm looking at something. But I thought, I understand with some of his running at sometimes, but I thought for the most part he was very fluid.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll go back and watch
that's what's the best part about scouting, because me and my brother have argued many of times on what he thinks is a day one prospect. And he's like, I see a top 10 pick. I'm like, and I see a top 100 pick. Like,
yeah, right.
It's It's funny. That's the best part
Yeah.
about it. I mean, there's no wrong.
Come on, Stuart.
Everybody, you people can call their shots. You can be right, and when you're right, it's awesome. When you're wrong, you're like, yeah, I got to eat crow on that one. I was completely wrong. I'm low on Shamar Stewart, and everybody's like, look at his athletic numbers. I'm like, look at his tape. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, look at him play. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. It's not that good.
All right, so I have Mason Taylor here, the tight end from LSU, aka Jason Taylor, the defensive MVP's son from the Miami Dolphins time, New York Jets. Everybody should know this by now. He's 6'5", 256. Couldn't find his age. This last year, he had 55 catches, 546 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz him. That is my comp for Mason Taylor is Dalton Schultz. When I watched Mason Taylor, I saw Dalton Schultz. So, very good, solid tight end, starting tight end, not going to be the flashiest tight end, and that's Mason Taylor. He's not flashy. He does it, and he does it fine, and it's nothing wrong with that. But I don't see. He's a good run blocker, which is nice. He does after there. He doesn't. He does catch with the body more than I like. He does have great hands, but he does catch close to the body, and I don't love that. He had a very nice touchdown against Purdue. He has average speed. He's slippery.
Wasn't that your knock against the Giants wide receiver last year?
Not Neighbors?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was one that was your knock.
Too.
Oh no.
But yeah, I get it. I feel like Taylor has no upside. Taylor's just that you're getting Taylor. That's what you're getting. Dalton Schultz. There you go. Congratulations. You got a good tight end. There's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like, he's the guy. I had to put him somewhere, and I didn't want to have to do well.
He had to be in here somewhere. Just so you know, he is 20 years old right now. He turns 21 on May 8th.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that in my notes.
I couldn't find. Thank you. Yeah, so he's young. That's good, and he has no upside. There you go. Still.
Wikipedia for the win.
Down Helm. The 6'5". I forgot. I didn't get his length, but he's 22. And my comp with Down Helm is Dallas Goedert.
Oh.
He can look like Dallas Goedert on tape. Always finds a way to get open, solid route runner, physical and strong. His type works at the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty solid, actually.
I'll talk about him here in a minute.
Yeah, I know you're high on him.
And another Colorado kid.
I like him. I'm not that 5. Doesn't mean I don't like him.
Yeah, this 1 through 4, I feel like you can mix it up. 1 and 2 you can't mix up. 2, 3 through 10, do whatever you want. I'm not going to be mad at you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not either.
I think 3 through 7 is very fluid.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just anyone's game.
Yeah. It got bad. There's the point where I was like, okay, this is the end of the talent pool right now. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I forget Chris is getting Fedoni. I'll throw him out there really quickly, from Nebraska. I was like, okay, cool. Caden Porkinson, the
Prescorn. Ole Miss?
Yeah. I thought I was going to like him a lot more than I did. And I did not like him.
Did you know he's 25?
Yes, I did. I wrote that down. I
I
was like, that man's old. That man needs to be going to ARP right now.
When I first saw his age, I'm like, is he in Utah? Nope. But the guy who's out of Utah, Keithy, he's also 25.
Yeah.
And I actually
my
liked
guy.
him a lot.
Is Mason Taylor your guy?
Not my guy, but they were not my mouth over. I don't. What did you say? Compared, Nancy Taylor to
Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz.
I mean, it's a good.
I have a very bullish clap to him. I think he's very shocking. That's what I saw him say.
No, he was not that aggressive and mean. He did not attack like people like Shockey.
Reliable in big situations. Understands how to get open in the end zone. Sure-handed as can be. Like this guy is physical.
I did not see physical on tape.
I think physical.
I didn't. Sure, I didn't see it, but again, everybody sees something different.
I think very shocking. You see Dalton Schultz.
I think that's a fair. Like, it's not like Dalton Schultz is a bad tight end, y'all. It's not like.
Not at all. Heck, I wouldn't mind him in Denver, but.
Yeah. All right. My number 4 is Chris's number 5. I got Gunnar Helm from Texas. 22, 6'5", 249. He was 60 receptions, 740 or 86 yards, and 7 touchdowns this last year. He goes and attacks the ball. He high points it, which I love. Smooth movements, very good routes. Finds a soft spot in the defense. He's another security blanket tight end for your quarterback. He's hard to bring down. He usually breaks the first attacker or defender that he comes up against, which is very nice. He did line up on both sides, inside and outside. He had a couple very nice over the shoulder catches. Makes a lot of contested catches.
Mm-hmm.
He's up and down on blocking. You wish he was a little bit better. He has some good times and he has some bad times. He's a 1-year starter, so again goes back to Elijah Arroyo, only a 1-year starter. But Gunnar Helm waited his turn.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he waited his turn and did his time and did his due behind all the other people there. You could say that about Elijah Arroyo, I guess, too, but I don't know who Elijah Arroyo had to compete against at Miami the last 4 years. But
a couple tight ends out there, but nothing like fantastic.
Yeah. So I like Gunnar Helm. I don't know about the Dallas Goedert. I don't know. I mean, that's not a horrible comp. I like Gunnar Helm. Gunnar Helm, I think anybody who gets Gunnar Helm. I think this is the class that we've talked about it. This whole class is guys you're going to have for 10 years. There's going to be a lot of good guys. There's going to be a lot of solid guys. I don't think there's going to be a lot of bad guys.
What do you say? 2 Hall of Famers in this class.
Well, I think it's the top 2 potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm interested in the wins. Oh.
And here we go again. Not much to say. Yeah, not much to add to the talk. He's the only tight end this season with more than 300 yards who's caught more than 85% of his targets. So he turned into Mr. Reliable. So his focus is there, strong hands at the catch point. He's pretty smooth. And
average speed. I don't think he's not for his tight end. I think he'll run like a 4.5, 4.6. I don't think he's not gonna blow you out of the
water. No. Speed. I would call it average speed, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I said. I called average speed, like 4.5.
But like that kind of tight end plays at the NFL level.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm just. He's not gonna be a world beater on you.
Yeah.
I mean, like Pitt was the world beater, but he hasn't done anything. No.
I wonder who said that.
I wonder.
I wonder who said that.
But he actually learned under Dave Logan at Cherry Creek High School in Colorado. And then he went down to Texas and played there. So, he has some really good mentorship, and so he has some pretty good football IQ. I really like him.
Man, I love how like Jolene just had the most random bat that was like tied into Colorado right there.
So an unofficial raw score just dropped for Terrence Ferguson, 9.57.
Oh my
Oh,
lord!
wow.
I'm gonna have
Yes,
to reconsider.
yes. He broad jumped 10'2". His height was 6'5", so that was big. His unofficial 40 was a 4.6. It looks like right now.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that for a tight end it is a 9.57 unofficial right now, and there's still some other
Wow.
stats that need to get thrown in there for him. But
And actually, Helm just came through. His 40 was a 4.84. Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, but we all thought that would be the.
I thought that's a little slower than
Yeah, I was expecting like a 4.65 or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know,
like
maybe he,
4.7.
if you haven't practiced running track, the 40 is tough.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah, no, it's not.
the tight end position, if you're not an athletic, like if you're not one of those freaks like the Kyle Pitts type, you're looking at tape more than the speed. You're not your tight end. Look at the tape speed, not the game.
Yeah, we're not looking at underwear Olympics to tight end here.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on to Mason Taylor.
Yeah, no one loves her from Mason Taylor.
I really like this guy. He broke records at LSU with the 100 receptions and 1,000 yards. He's steady. He's clutch. If you're trying to win a game, he will make himself available for that 2-point play. So his route running is pretty precise, and has some decent blocking skills in that run game. I think he has some decent versatility. He can go out, he can stay. So he's another 3-down tight end. He made a reception in 16 consecutive games and ranked 4th amongst LSU tight ends in history. So that's pretty cool.
I didn't know. I mean, those are pretty good stats. I didn't know some of those.
He's actually LSU's first tight end with a 1,000-yard career receiving yard. So, and he made 54 first downs.
Yeah, because he seemed like he was just a short route guy. He was like, okay, I'm at the line of scrimmage, throw it to me.
So you're saying he took it down and shot that at all?
Oh, man. I don't know who to compare him to, though. So I've got him at 6'5" and 251 and 21 years old. Well, will be 21.
Yeah,
so.
That's nice. You're always getting
and the ceiling is still high. Like
he has a high floor. We'll put it that way.
That's the best way to say it. High floor, low ceiling.
High floor.
No idea where the ceiling is, honestly. It comes down to what coach picks him up and how are they going to use him.
That's fair. It's always coach dependent.
It's scheme. It's all about scheme.
So before Chris hits here, I'm going to tell you, me and Chris are going to be 1, 2, and 3 aligned with the next one. So Chris can go ahead. If Chris doesn't,
go ahead.
Harold Fannin, exactly. I know this. Me and Chris are going to be in line with.
We're just drooling over this guy.
Yeah. So Harold Fannin Jr., Bowling Green, 20 years old, 6'4", 230, as we mentioned before. This last year, 117 receptions, 1,555 yards, and 10 touchdowns. In 23, 44 receptions, 623, and 6. So he had productivity, huge games against Penn State and Texas A&M. So he did it against very good talent. He did have a solid quarterback in Bazovac, or I'm murdering that guy's name. It's crazy last name. He's actually a pretty solid quarterback. I think he has one more year of eligibility. He'll be a guy to look out for next year as that one of those, quarterback 9, 10.
Yeah, he was not bad.
No, he's not bad at all. He has a very, very
he did well at Penn State.
That Soviet bloc name. You see his name there.
Yeah.
You're Ukrainian, you're Polish, you're something, Speed. He's a nightmare matchup. He's speed, good routes. I just had a mock draft, and I put him on the 49ers. Picture him in the 49ers and having Kyle Shanahan figure out how to use him. He's undersized. He is undersized, which is bad for the position. Very fluid movement, soft hands. He had a rushing touchdown against Akron, which was nice. He makes contested catches. He has a very nasty stiff arm. He lays the lumber down, which is a nice stiff arm he has. He's a playmaker, finds the soft zone coverage, spots in the zone coverage, and slips through blocks like he has freaking butter on him. I love Harold Fanning. I understand that he might not go until day 3, and round 3, and I think whoever gets him is getting a steal.
Yeah, the hell. He's so shifty. I've never seen a tight end like this. He's so shifty in the draft. The way he does his little stubborn fake move, I don't know what that is, but it's effective. And he gets a lot of yak from that. And I think he's 20 years old.
Yeah. He'll be 21 by the NFL season, though, too.
This guy is going to be a stud in the NFL. I don't care where he plays.
And it was not a 4.8, it was a 4.9 by Gunnar Helm.
Gunnar Helm? Oh, man.
He ran a 4.93. He only ran 5 seconds. I did not think he was that slow, y'all. I think he had a bad day in the office.
I think he had a bad day in the office.
4.9. I did not see 4.9 on the tape.
I did not see 4.9 on the tape either. Yeah, why are they looking at?
No, I think you're reading the wrong side.
No,
it's not the red. You're looking at the gray.
No, I'm looking at the red. It said 4.9.
Exactly. You should be looking at the other side. So 4.9. That means that he's like.
Oh, you're right.
At the 50%.
Sorry,
50 percentile.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Still bad.
And so that's crazy. You don't have the height of him, but he reminded me of Antonio.
No. God,
how Antonio Gates played.
I deemed on this episode right now with witness to Jolene, you are forbidden to ever give comps ever again, sir.
No. How he plays.
You're right.
He plays like Antonio. I watched this guy my whole life.
You've lost.
No, I watched Antonio Gates play a million times in person. I'm telling you, this guy reminds me of him. You don't have the height.
Oh, you
plays like him.
Chris, I love you, bud, but that is a bold.
Plays like him.
No, he does. Hold on.
Does.
Hold on. No, he does not. Gates was a different animal. You do not bash Gates' name like that.
He's number 3 on our list.
I get it.
And he's going to be a stud in the NFL.
The body types. Fucking Gates was like 6'5".
I'm talking about how he plays.
He doesn't play like Gates. Gates is a whole.
No.
Oh, Chris.
He's got a move. I'm
gonna be shocked right here. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. We all have Colston Loveland as number 2. I think it's safe to say.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Tyler Warren's number 1. Let's just go ahead. Let's not hold the debate back here. We'll talk about them both, but I think it was obvious not to sit there and play the.
Let's just reveal the whole hand here.
Yeah. All right. So, Jolene, what do you have on Colston Loveland? We'll go ahead and let you go there first, and we'll work ourselves back.
All right. Dude is a monster. He's 21, 6'5" and 6'8" tall, holding a 248. Man, he can run any route. He can catch any ball. Though he does have focus drops every now and again. So that is my one thing against him.
Can I just go ahead and say that's because of his quarterbacks?
He has struggled with ups and downs with quarterbacks.
I think he had like 5 starters this last year.
That's possible. He definitely got blessed with JJ last year. But yeah, it's been rough. So apparently he boasts a 69% catch rate.
Wow.
And he's top 5 in receiving yards over his career.
Top 5 at Michigan?
Top 5 in this class.
Oh, okay. I was going to say at Michigan.
Yeah, no, not just at Michigan.
Yeah, he had 3 quarterbacks. Davis Warren, which we all know is the worst quarterback to ever exist in college football history.
And so
Tuttle and Alec Orji. And the quarterbacks threw for more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah.
This year, right?
Yeah, this year.
It was painful this year.
Yeah. Well, I love Eric. Joel hit it on the head. He does everything. So the one thing I'll say about this, 1 and 2 are totally different tight ends. Warren does a different game. Loveland does a different game. They are not the same type. It is Warren is hands down the best tight end in this class. I am not a tight. I told Chris this. Chris knows this. Everybody who's ever followed me on social media knows this about me and my tight ends. I am not a tight end truther in the first round because you can find the same productivity in the 6th round or in the 4th round or in the 3rd. I am smashing my hand on the table for a top 10 pick on Tyler Warren. I believe.
Wow.
Talk about Colston Loveland. I love it. I love it.
Colston Loveland this last year with bad quarterback play, 56 catches, 5 touchdowns, 582 yards.
That's good.
Yeah, very good with bad quarterback play. Fast on the line. He does have a good second gear to make some to get on the second level. He's good on sweeps and rollouts. He's a solid blocker, and actually in the Illinois game, he had a couple solid blocks. I mean, he's not the greatest blocker. He's a solid blocker. High points the ball against Texas. He had a very beautiful catch against Texas at the beginning of the season. I mean, everything Jolene said. I love Loveland. It just depends on what type of tight end you need and what you want from your tight end. He's going to be more Kyle Pitts-esque. I'm just going to keep you because that's the most, he's the outside, off the line type tight end who's going to be more of a receiver for you and try to make great matchups against the linebackers.
True. He's great with after the catch stuff too.
Yeah,
it's hard to bring him down.
It really is. He's a yak.
That's really what is in my notes, knowing. It's hard to bring this dude down.
Yeah. Honestly, at the beginning of the season, I had Loveland as my tight end 1.
I did too.
And about October, I'm like, no, Warren is my number 1. So, yeah, it didn't take me too long to switch gears on this one.
I was a little lower on the Warren, thinking like, okay, everybody's hyping over Warren, like every other tight end. I'll get Loveland in the late 1st or 2nd round and get better. And then I watched Warren. I was like,
yeah, right. Like I was trying to watch Colston Loveland to try and overtake Tyler Warren. Just to be a hater, not me, but Then I'm like, okay, I can't do this. But let me tell you, this guy understands leverage. What Loveland does. He understands leverage and how to get open. That's going to play big in his hands at the NFL, or in the NFL. This guy's going to bring down. I thought he was a bit too skinny, but he's 6'6".
Yeah, Loveland's going to look really good in an LA Chargers uniform.
I'm fine with it. But you know what? I would rather him have Mr. Evans than Tyler Warren because this guy might be the best tight end I've ever watched.
I said that to my brother. I think Tyler Warren is the best tight end prospect I've ever watched.
He can throw the ball, he can run with the ball, and the Wildcat, he can catch the ball, he gets the that yards. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy could punch.
Yeah, Tyler Warren is 6'6", 260, 22 years old. He had 104 receptions, 1,233 yards, 8 touchdowns. Then he had 26 carries, 218 yards, and 4 touchdowns with Penn State's offenses last year.
Dude is Mr. Wildcat.
Dude, he's Mr. Evans.
I said, Wildcat. If NFL team, you know how they're going to like. Yes, everybody hates the Packers because we're going to ban the tush push, but everybody secretly is like, yay. But everybody's out front. How dare you? But we're like, the Wildcat's going to come back, and Tyler Warren is going to be leading that Wildcat offense on the 1-2 yard line and scoring every damn time.
Oh, yeah. Dude, almost all of these tight ends this year could probably sport the Wildcat and do great for their teams because it is insane the talent that is coming in this year.
Yeah, this is going back to the Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft tight end, 2-3 years ago.
It's better than that, in my opinion. But.
No, I think that one was deeper and had more guys top heavy. It was a top heavy. A lot of guys went in the first 3 rounds in that class.
Yes and no, because I mean it was deep, but it wasn't necessarily as top heavy as this one.
Yeah,
I think you guys are forgetting that draft. I'm jumping to it right now.
Yeah, and a little bit about the school again, but I'm telling you, these guys are better.
Let's see. We had 15 tight ends taken in that draft.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Had.
Was this 22?
This was 20.
Yeah.
Oh, you make me lie to you. Scrolled. Was it 22? It was 23.
Okay.
So you had the first tight end off the board didn't come until Sam Laporta and Michael Mayer. That was 33, 34, and 35. Then you had Luke Musgraves from the Packers at 42. Then you had Luke Shoemaker at 54. Then you had Brenton Strage at 61. Then you had Tucker Kraft at 78. You had Darnell Washington at 93. And you had Cameron Latu at 101. So that's 8 tight ends in the first 3 rounds.
Wow. I don't think it's going to be that crazy, but it's because of this is also a crazy running back and defensive line and edge. Man, all these positions are just going to get pushed down.
That's what I've been saying about the running backs and the defensive tackles, because do you just push these guys down because it's so deep and like, hey, well, we have this guy in the same tier. It has less talent, aka offensive tackles. After a while, it has a pretty quick drop off after offensive. Do we take this tackle here instead of the running back because it's the same grade?
Yeah,
I just think it's going to push those guys down. Like, hey, let's get this guy now because there's not as deep as this position.
Right. Yep. But that's going to cause some teams to be reaching for some spots.
Well, it happened when the Packers needed a backup quarterback, and we had to take Sean Clifford because the backup quarterbacks were flying off the board that damn year. Then the same with the kickers. We took fucking Anders Carlson because, I kicked with his brother in Las Vegas, so we can make him good, even though in college he had a 65% kicking average, and now where is he? Just some years. It's just like some years those positions start going and all teams start freaking out and say we have to go do it. And it could be the tight ends again. 1 through 8, I think all go in the first 3 rounds. I could easily see it being like that. I could see 1 through 8 because 1 and 2 are first rounders.
Mhm. I
Then
think so.
3 through 8 will be second and third rounders.
Yeah, for sure.
And then 9 through 15 will be the rest of the draft.
I mean,
Yeah.
Shannon, it depends what we see, what the NFL sees.
I mean, if it's not, Fan is going round 3 at the worst case
Yeah.
scenario.
Mhm.
At the worst.
Yeah,
Gunnar
at the
Hill,
worst.
if that's true with his stuff, if he doesn't fix it at his pro day, Gunnar Helm could fall. I mean, that could scare enough teams off.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see how the pro day
That tank
works
is
out.
so good, though, man.
I'm not always the underwear Olympics person. I like, sometimes it confirms what you saw, and then other times it makes you want to go scratch and watch.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, Tyler Warren though, yeah, I don't know what else you would want from Tyler. He's going top 10. I truly believe that. I think enough NFL teams have said that, or but enough experts.
I believe it. I'm with you.
Have
He's
said
a top 10 player.
It's just fair though. The problem is, there's been rumors that Shedeur Sanders has been taking interviews on purpose for teams he doesn't care to go to.
I wouldn't doubt that.
And then I just found out that Jahadi Barron is considered QB2 or QB2.
Who?
Jahadi or Brown.
CB2.
Barron. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
I heard you say QB2. I'm like,
CB2. Sorry.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah,
which doesn't make sense. Maybe CB3.
Yeah, sorry about my hat.
Yeah. But this is that time frame to start looking at your stuff but I love Warren. It's just, where do you fit him? Like, I always have him going to the Colts because I struggle finding him. Those first 15 picks.
Yeah.
Well, it's so hard when I'm doing mock drafts. It's like, where am I fitting these guys that everybody's telling me is going here? Like, people are going to fall, and who is it going to be that falls?
Right.
But
quarterbacks go 2 and 4. Do the 2 quarterbacks go in the top 5? I don't know. A lot of teams have said they're not that interested in these guys this year, and then you hear other things that they are.
Yep. It depends on desperation. So there's a huge possibility of people jumping up to grab their guy.
the
top 5 is elite.
The top 5 is going to obviously set the tone. So So my thing is, I think it'd be stupid not to take a dual Carter 101. I think a dual Carter is the clear-cut number 1 player in this draft.
Yep.
I mean, without hearing about the injury, you might be a little hesitant, but man, this dude is dominant.
It's like training camp, so it doesn't even phase me.
I'm not. Don't bother me. Don't bug me.
So the thing about it though is, if the Titans love a dual Carter, which they have multiple rumors have said that they're infatuated with Carter. So the problem is, they also said they need draft picks in better position, which they do. They need to build that you trade 101 away, you lose Carter, because if you let that team go and get the quarterback, Carter's going to, like, the Patriots or the Browns. If the Browns trade Garrett, they're going to jump all over Carter and replace him.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Browns are in a weird spot right now.
But if you're the Titans, then you keep playing that again.
Yeah. I mean, you could just you say, okay, we know we're not a quarterback away. We don't love these quarterbacks. We love Carter, but we need more than Carter.
Mm-hmm.
So we just keep trading back a couple
times.
Like,
you played with the Giants, and then you played with the Las Vegas Raiders, or whatever.
It always says easier to trade. A lot of these GM says, doesn't mean that, it sounds great. Yeah, we would love to. Doesn't mean people are calling or offering what you want for that pick.
Right. Yeah. That's the big thing.
So,
I mean, not everyone can pull a Houston Texans of grab CJ Stroud and then trade right back and grab Will Anderson.
Yeah.
That was one of the best moves I've ever seen.
That was amazing. That was really good.
Mind-blowing. That was one of the top 5 moments in that draft history.
Right. That was crazy.
Yeah. I think the Titans, I love a duel. I think a duel is the next, T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett. I think you
So,
said
like, they're trying to get Javon close to know that when they drafted him. Yeah,
I think you have to sit there and take Carter. I mean,
you have to.
he's the second most important position in college or in football. He's the edge. He's the guy who he changes the game just as much as the quarterback. I think.
And then you have what's his name that's next to him too.
But if they're out there saying that all their players can get,
Simmons.
they gave like 4 people permission to seek trades. So if they're getting rid of Harold Landry and company,
They're not playing Simmons, are they?
no Simmons, they've already said multiple. Like they people try to throw on him.
So like him and Simmons. Whew.
Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting. Draft is a long way away. Free agency is here in 2 weeks. We can see what happens. But we're going down a rabbit hole of a whole bunch of fun stuff we can talk about. There's our top 10. No, I mean, we all kind of agree for the most part. I think. Is there any tight ends to bring it back really part that are outside your top 10 that you want to give a shine point to, a flashlight onto, and give them a quick thing that we haven't talked about?
There's one kid, CJ Dupree, with Alabama. He spent 2 years with Maryland and then transferred down to Alabama. He is fun to watch. He will hurdle people, He had to suffer with Talia for a couple of years. So not the greatest quarterback play, but he actually has really good power and speed and balance for a tight end. So I like him as a sleeper pick. He's my 11. He's my honorable mention.
Yeah, mine will be Molawiki Matova from UCLA.
I like that guy.
I murdered his name. I'm sorry, I haven't heard it.
Maliki Matavau.
There we go. Maliki Matau.
Yeah. When you know
if I hit it a couple times, I get it. But he was invited to the Senior Bowl. Had a good Senior Bowl. He flashed all over the tape. I really like him. He's my tight end 13. I really think he's going to be one of those late round guys. And
sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. He's he's that guy for me. I even have him over Jake Brenningstool.
So I think I like this black tight end drafted, okay? Luke Lattin, am I saying that? Luke Lattin?
Yeah.
He's gonna get drafted, okay? He didn't really impress me, but I like him.
He's okay. He's good. He's gonna be that. He's the prototypical. He's getting drafted. He's gonna be Will Disley or something like that.
He's not what's his name? From the Niners.
Kittle.
He's not Kittle.
No,
but
he's not
in
Kittle.
no way am I expecting him to be Kittle. But this guy's just he's from Iowa. Sorry.
I have him tight end 13.
That's my tight end 12.
Yeah.
But I like him. I love him.
He'll be drafted 100%. Iowa tight end.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He's gonna get drafted.
And they have a block, so
yeah.
Yeah, you're coming from
he has such a low drop rate. He's really good. So, and high character. So GMs love that.
Yeah, and it's in the bloodline. His dad was in the NFL with Altwell.
So
yeah. But that is it. Thank you, Jolene, for joining us this week. It was fantastic to have you on. She is our producer on the backside that makes all these great graphics for us for each week in and out. So it's always fun to get her on. So thank you again, Jolene, for joining us this week.
She's coming back for the quarterback?
in theory, I'm coming back for quarterbacks.
Fantastic. Yeah. So next week, obviously, will be wide receivers. I've already got a jump start because there's a lot of them to watch. I'm already 8 in, and then running backs, quarterbacks. So we are 3 weeks away from being done with our rankings, and then we got a whole bunch of fun mock drafts lined up.
Fun stuff.
Yes. So thank you for joining. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for listening to the Mocking You podcast. Yours truly, Lil B at Brunelli Sports and the Hater at Supercharged 33.